Again, they were willing to take half a loaf. Then they were attacked in excuse me.
It's way more complicated than that, but it's okay.
Well, I don't know if you know the history.
I do really well.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me the war.
So, for instance,
when were they attacked? What wars?
Okay, so in 1967, when
that was the first time?
No, that wasn't the first time.
When was?
But when you say that they have offered land to the Palestinians, land that belonged to them in the first place,
it didn't belong solely to them.
The whole point of this whole two-state solution was, okay, we'll give you this territory if you promise not to militarize. Without a military, you don't have a country. You don't have a country without a military. You don't have a country without borders, right? Without a military, you can't defend your borders. So if I were engaging in these negotiations with the Israelis, I would say, listen, I respect the territory that you're offering. However, we need to militarize. We need to protect our borders. To me, that's a big thing.
But that's not what they ever used it for. Again, they gave Gaza back in 2005. They could have chosen...
They didn't give Gaza back in... They left Gaza, but didn't really leave Gaza when they had complete control over the territory.
Because they kept being attacked. Excuse me, just let me finish one sentence.
Go ahead.
They could have turned Gaza into a state that was much more like, I don't know, Dubai or something, if they wanted to. They didn't. Hamas took over right away. They never had elections after that.
You're right about that. You're right about the elections,
They're a terrorist mafia. Their own population is terrorized by them. They don't like them. All they did was import weapons from Iran, build tunnels, and use it to prosecute this war against Israel. They never used it. So, of course, Israel is going to be defensive. Their issue was they were not defensive enough, which is why October 7th happened.
So you're making good points. I'm going to concede to some of them. Not all of them, but
no, I don't even know why you want to talk about this.
I know. I'll ask you one more question.
It's frustrating because
my problem is, okay, even if I concede entirely to everything you're saying, how about a little bit of ire directed toward Benjamin Netanyahu, who's the guy who facilitated the funding and has totally admitted to facilitating the funding of Hamas? Why did he prop up Hamas? Because he wanted to essentially discredit the PLO. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of whatabouts you can say.
But it's not a whataboutism. The very man who propped up Hamas is now saying that he needs to fight them.
I mean...
And now he's also funding Abu Shabab. Why are you funding Abu Shabab, who has ties to ISIS?
These things are not wrong. It just looks like you're looking for something to make a false equivalency.
This is what I want. I want Palestinians to live in their own territory. I want them to be able to govern themselves. I want Israelis to live in peace and safety.
Then stop attacking them.
I'm going to attack them as long as they're doing what they're currently doing.
They're doing in retaliation for being attacked. Of course it is. They've been attacked. They were encircled. Lebanon. Why are they in Lebanon? Because Hezbollah was attacking from there.
Right, in response to what they're doing in Gaza, yes.
Well, before that, they've had 4 wars there.
Was it when they were trying to annex land from southern Lebanon that they were attacking?
They were not trying to annex land. They were trying to put a border between the country that was continually attacking them. If we were being attacked from Canada, I imagine we would want a little border between Maine and Canada.
True.
I don't think
But while building that border, we wouldn't then take a little bit of southern Canada
for getting this information.
No, it's not TikTok. I'm very well read on this. Very well read on this. I care about this issue a lot.
I see.
I do. Yeah.
Let me ask you one question, and then maybe we can get off it. Because otherwise, I just want to go. I want to go have dinner.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in this.
Yeah.
It's not really what I started a podcast for. You seem to be itching to get to it, and now that you have, I'm not going to back down on it because
I don't want
and
you
I'm
to.
not Jewish, by the way.
Oh, I didn't accuse you of being Jewish, and then it wouldn't matter if you were.
No, but I'm saying I do this because I think it's the right thing, and because I feel like I know the history and the politics of it.
I respect your perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you had to live in the Middle East, so tomorrow, Anna, you got to go live in the Middle East. Where would you live? You can pick one city, any city. You can, as far away as, say, Pakistan. You could live in Karachi. You could live in Cairo. You could live in Amman, Jordan. You seem to love Lebanon. I mean, Beirut's nice when the bombing's not happening and the assassinations have stopped. Or you could live in Syria. I hear that's wonderful in the summer.
Well, we now have Al-Qaeda terrorists leading Syria.
Or the Houthis, I'm sure, would make room for you.
Yeah.
Tel Aviv. Or the West Bank, Ramallah, I think is wonderful for a little, in the fall, it gets lovely. Where would you live? What city would you live in?
Well,
where do you think you'd be comfortable in that dress?
I'm sure it would not be comfortable in this dress in any of the various Middle Eastern countries that have been destabilized by
you're not
the United States.
You're not really blaming it on Whitey.
Listen.
Are you? You're blaming Islam on Whitey?
I'm not blaming Islam on Whitey.
What you're saying, we destabilized, that's why you can't wear that dress?
Did we not destabilize?
Wait a second.
We were funding terrorist organizations in Syria during the Syrian Civil War. Starting under the Obama administration.
That's why
Did that not destabilize Syria?
No, what's destabilized?
There's a literal Al-Qaeda terrorist
We're talking
as
about
a
your
leader.
dress.
Oh,
Why?
it looks good. I know it looks
why,
good.
You're saying you can't wear that dress in Syria because of whitey destabilizing?
I didn't say that.
Okay, that's
You're
what
putting words in my mouth.
Okay, great.
But
That's
the United
what it
States
sounded
did
like.
destabilize various
But
Middle
I
Eastern
asked about
countries.
the
Are you going
dress,
to deny that?
I asked about the dress, and you went right to destabilize. So is that why you couldn't wear that dress? Why couldn't you wear that dress? Why couldn't you walk down?
You want me to talk about
Why-
jihadism
I-
and
I-
Islam, but like,
Why won't you?
listen.
Why won't you?
I mean,
Why?
I don't believe in jihadism, which is why I'm furious that the United States just had a freaking Al Qaeda terrorist in the White House.
It's not just jihadism that is preventing you from wearing that dress. Are you saying every Muslim is a jihad? I don't think they are.
Bill.
Okay, why can't you wear that dress?
Let's focus for a second.
No, you won't answer this question.
I'm not going to defend that religion, like that extremist religion at all.
Why can't you just
that's
say?
not what this discussion is about. This discussion is
No,
about
it's very much what it's about.
ordinary, innocent human beings that I don't want to be slaughtered,
I don't
regardless
either.
of what their religion is.
No one does. Then stop starting wars.
It's that simple.
Stop attacking Israel. It'll stop.
Okay.
But the fact that you can't answer that question, and you know that
I don't know what the question is. What's the question?
You keep doing
What's
that.
my question? What's your
because
question?
you don't really want to hear it.
No, go ahead. I will
Okay.
give you space to speak. Go
then
ahead.
you will let me.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, if you could live anywhere,
Right.
from North Africa all the way to, we'd left out Uzbekistan, you could live there, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. Oh,
None of the above.
and,
none of them.
Or Tel Aviv.
None of them. Literally none of them.
But if you had to choose one, you would. So to you,
I would not, no.
Karachi, Pakistan, and Tel Aviv, same thing.
I would figure
'Cause that's
something out, but
that's
I
powerful,
definitely.
not as smart as I know you are. That's come on.
I have-
you're going to
first
get
of all,
killed. You're
what
going to
I-
get killed for that for good reason.
No, I don't.
Yes, you are, and for good reason.
Okay,
because,
Bill, I'm Armenian. I have literal family members who currently live in Iran. I have no love for the Iranian regime. Let me be clear about that.
I left out Tehran. Would you like to live
Hold
there?
on. But let me just say something.
Tel Aviv,
There
Tehran.
is so much disinformation. Armenian Christians who are part of the Armenian diaspora as a result of the 1915 genocide against Armenians.
I know it.
They're living in
Sure.
Iran right now. They're going to church. They're being left alone by the Ayatollah, as awful as the Ayatollah is. So look, I'm not saying I would want to live in Iran. I don't want to live anywhere in the Middle East. I want to live here in the United States of America, the greatest freaking country in the world.
You're like a politician. You're avoiding
No,
the question.
I'm being as super honest as I can be.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
100% I'm being honest with you.
No. Because the question is, if you had to pick a city, and you're not answering that question, you're doing what
I have no interest in any place in the Middle
politicians are
East.
doing and saying, I don't want to live in any of them. I want to live in America. That's not the question. The question is, if you had to pick, would you rather live in Tel Aviv? Because I promise you, you wouldn't last a week in the other places, and you could easily live in Tel Aviv. So if you don't think that speaks of a difference between cultures and civilizations, then okay, we'll leave it there. But I promise you it does. And if you had to actually do that, I think you would agree with me.
I think given my very harsh and vociferous criticisms of the Israeli government, I probably wouldn't feel so safe living in Tel Aviv right now under this government. Under this government.
First of all, they have free speech there, so it would not be an issue. But that is a side issue. We're not really talking about. We'll just say just a person, not you with your vociferous talking head, just a regular, a woman of your age.
I'm sure a woman of my age who grew up in the Western world would probably feel the most comfortable in Tel Aviv. I will concede that.
Wow.
Okay, but we're having a discussion about which culture we like, when in reality, I'm having a discussion about the value of human life. And wanting innocent people to live, whether they're Israelis or whether they're Muslims in some other Muslim country in the
You know
Middle
what?
East.
When I'm bored, I know the audience is bored.
Yeah,
So I'm going to cut it there because we've been
enough.
around that mulberry bush before.
Right.
So I don't want to go around it again.
Okay, you want to talk about husbands again?
Anything else? 'Cause,
Listen, and